Please welcome your host for tonight, Kelly Latimer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Singapore. Welcome to Gardens by the Bay, and welcome to the world premiere of the new all-electric Macan. My name's Kelly Latimer, and I am absolutely thrilled to be your host tonight as I bring you on what hopes to be a truly electrifying journey. Now, as a Singaporean, I am very, very proud to welcome you here to my home, and I'm so glad and honored that Porsche has selected this stunning city to be the launchbed for this brand new Macan. I'm very, very excited for it because I truly believe that there are so many synergies, right? Singapore and Porsche have so many commonalities. We're talking about the dynamism. We're talking about the courage and also the positive attitude to embracing change and making sure that we're embracing the future as well. So before we dive into the details of the fascinating features of the car and its design, which I'm sure you're all very excited about, ladies and gentlemen, I need to address the one thing right behind me. The very beautiful, very stunning sculpture that you see, the backdrop for this evening's launch. A masterpiece of art, something that was custom built in close collaboration with Michael Mauer and the Stahl Porsche team. Now, they had done this just for this very special occasion, and I'm very happy to announce that in conjunction with the Singapore Art Week, this stunning sculpture will be available to the public for the next 3 weeks, so they too can take it in, soak it in, be inspired, and also enjoy the stunning sights that we have provided here this evening. But okay, I can hear some of you asking, right? Why art? And what on earth does art have to do with a sports car, right? Yes, I can see some of you nodding. Well, think about it, right? What does art hope to do? Art hopes to inspire. Art hopes to talk to each and every one of you. Art hopes to create that very essence and the ability for you to experience that allows you to dream. And that is exactly what this is doing here tonight, but it's also doing something more. It's got that symbiosis with the true hero of tonight, the new all-electric Macan. What does it do? It reflects its character. It reflects its values. And it showcases that the Macan can embrace change, can move forward while still retaining its true essence. Now, we're going to be talking a little bit more about this sculpture and finding out about its design and its inception. We'll be talking with Vice President for Stahl Porsche, Michael Mauer, as well as the artist behind it, Mark Fornes, in a few short moments. But before we do that, let's take a quick look at this design film.
My name is Mark Fornes. I'm principal of the Very Many. I'm an architect, and this is what I make. I provide experience. I provide an environment. The car designer is the same.
I just love and love cars. Over these 75 years, there has been developed the soul of the brand. We cultivate it based on certain principles. It should have this expression, being very focused.
All our structure, without what we would call frozen tension, would not be able to sustain all the forces. Those lines go from flat to curve to crease.
This pattern and structure, you think that's something you can work with?
I think it's an excellent start. The collaboration was not to mimic the car itself. That moment where you see for the first time, what can we do to make that moment memorable? The purpose of our structure for the launch is really to create an experience and inspire people.
Look absolutely amazing, and here to tell us a little bit more. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we warmly welcome Michael Mauer, Vice President of Stahl Porsche, as well as the architect and artist, Mark Fornes. Gentlemen, thank you for taking center stage with me here on a slightly drizzly night, but hey, we're not made of salt. Neither is this car. Let's talk a little bit about some of those design principles. There's 3 key words that we saw in that film just now: tension, focus, purpose. How important are these principles to you and your work, Michael?
Yeah, we believe, since we are basically designing cars for people, for customers, that it makes sense to look a little bit more into what characteristics these people have. And based on this, we have derived these keywords. And as you just mentioned, purpose, tension, focus. And we had a very interesting discussion when this whole project started. So Mark and his team visited us in Weissach, and we were presenting these principles and hoping that by presenting this, there's a better understanding why a Porsche looks like a Porsche.
Well, Porsche looks like a Porsche because it's absolutely stunning. I look at it and I go, wow, that's a piece of art. But do you consider the work that you do art?
I would say definitely in the beginning it's pretty similar. You start with a blank sheet of paper, and you have a vision, you have an idea, you have some dreams, and then you just start to sketch and build models and all this stuff. And then, but then we are, as I just mentioned, part of industry. We are not designing cars for designers, but for customers. And therefore, we have a close look at their requirements, at their wishes. And I think that's a part where maybe for Mark, it's a little bit easier from that point on.
Mark, what do you think? Do you have to agree?
I think I have to agree with Michael for sure. But I think since our very first visit and discussion in Weissach, we quickly realized that we have much more in common than just a design sensibility or a style, if you will. I think at the very essence of Porsche, there is performance and trying to bring performance to the street. And in our case, with the studio, we're trying to build performance-driven architecture or prototype of architecture. But beyond just the kind of art of engineering, we're also both trying to craft experience, memorable moments. And I think in some extent, we're trying to create dreams for people.
I think you've definitely done that. And you dreamed this beautiful sculpture to life. Tell us a little bit more, because everyone is in absolute awe of just how beautiful it looks.
Well, very simple. It's my vision of a 2-car garage. Right now, there's 2 amazing cars parked into that. But if we look at it first in terms of performance, is what we would call self-supported ultra-thin shell structure. Self-supported because basically there is the skin, the envelope is the structure. There is no traditional element of architecture such as beams, columns. And ultra-thin because while it's about 7 meters high, it's paper-thin aluminum, building it 1.5 millimeter thick.
Wow.
For that part. So if we look at it now in terms of engineering, it's made out of more than 6,500 parts, all unique, and that creates some sort of puzzle, 3D puzzle for that. But it's also, in a few numbers, it's 26 kilometers of laser cutting. It's 200,000 rivets together. But again, beyond just the numbers themselves, I think the aim was to create an environment inspiring, to create kind of an experience going through that trigger creativity. And it's very much focused to the visitor. And I think I like to believe that it's similar to the car under the cover, focusing to its driver.
Amazing.
I mean, I have to say, I saw it last night for the first time in person. Before we were always exchanging, and you were showing pictures and stuff like this. But when I saw it last night for the first time, I could really feel this tension that is in the sculpture, and therefore I think it's so perfectly complementing the cars. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm absolutely sure when all of you walked in here today, the first thing you did was cast your gaze towards this stunning structure. It's amazing. And we heard just now, Mark, you mentioned 2 of those key design principles as well. We've talked about focus. We've talked about that tension as well. But what about the purpose then, Michael? Let's draw it back to the purpose. What was the purpose of trying to see how you guys could implement all of this into the new Macan?
Yeah, I mean, purpose is a very important keyword for us, because all the design cues we are using, we always try to give them a function, a purpose. And you could say, if we talk about the car overall, The main purpose was just, again, with the successor of the very successful Macan, to build the most sporty SUV in its segment.
Amazing. Well, I'm sure everyone is very, very excited to see exactly what it is. We're going to talk to you a little bit later about the intricate design details, but let's give them a round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, because we have come to the point in the night that you've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the point in the night where we achieve our true purpose of this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman of the executive board of Porsche AG, Oliver Blume.
What a fantastic moment and what an incredible place to present this car. Good evening and a warm welcome to all of you. It's wonderful to be here in Singapore in the famous gardens by the bay. We are gathered in a place where dreams come true, in a spot where nature and technology allow us to experience unique moments. Take a look at these artificial super trees. They convert sunlight into energy with photovoltaic cells and make this place glow at night. Singapore is an innovation hub. It's a green megacity and it's opening the door to the future. A future with a new star, the new all-electric Macan. We are showing this car during Singapore Art Week with the impressive artwork of Mark Forness. The car and the sculpture have two things in common. They combine state-of-the-art technology with innovative design and the pursuit of perfection. That's the true art of engineering. We are making history once again with the launch of our second all-electric model following the Taycan. The Macan has been on an outstanding journey since 2013 with more than 800,000 customers worldwide. Today, our bestseller is going electric. Porsche is taking the Macan to a new level in three ways. First, e-performance. Second, Porsche driver experience. And third, expressive design. The all-electric Macan sets new standards for e-performance, a benchmark in the SUV segment. the perfect car for a new age of mobility. A car that exceeds expectations. Its capabilities are unique in its class, with high-performance fast charging, with up to 270 kilowatts and a range up to 613 kilometers. At the beginning, the Macan will be available in two versions, Macan 4 and the top-of-the-range Macan Turbo, with acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in only 3.3 seconds and a top speed of 260 kilometers per hour. An exceptional car that performs on any surface. Now, let's talk about the Porsche driver experience. The new Macan is full of innovations, a technology carrier. The new generation of the infotainment system enables high-performance connectivity with an augmented reality head-up display, with a Porsche App Center for downloading third-party apps, with super-fast route planning and exceptional charging management. This transformation takes us to a new level. I've read something interesting about the new Macan. Let me briefly quote from it. It's a car that performs like a Porsche, but behaves like a smartphone. It's about performance on the road and performance in the digital world. Moreover, Porsche offers countless options. Customers can create their own Macan in terms of colors, exclusive features, and sustainable materials in selected components, and all in highest quality. Porsche is attracting new target groups. Our Porsche family is getting younger and more female, especially here in Asia. The new Macan is cool, digital, and ready for exciting new experiences. That's why we are here today in the gardens by the bay. The Macan is a true sports car. It demonstrates our ambitious goals for the ramp-up of electromobility. Our journey started with a Taycan. Up to now, we have delivered almost 140,000 units and over 40,000 in 2023. Electromobility and Porsche is a perfect fit with a consistent product strategy. The new Taycan will come very soon, followed by the 718 and the all-electric Cayenne, and many more to come. Porsche has a global presence: Europe, the United States, and China, and strong growth in the overseas markets, like Southeast Asia. Last year, these markets accounted for more than 16% of our total sales. Southeast Asia is a future powerhouse for Porsche. This is why Singapore is a perfect stage for our new Macan. The world is changing. Today, we are in a place where change can be seen in every direction. Green skyscrapers, a jungle in the middle of the city, renewable energy. Singapore is transforming into a green megacity, a role model for successful transformation. And now, it's time to take a look closer. Watch out for our 3 game changers: e-performance, the Porsche driver experience, and expressive design.
Thank you very much, Oliver. Fantastic, and I can't wait to get even closer to this expressive design. Thank you so much for explaining all of that. We will let Oliver take his leave of the stage as we now take a closer look at that expressive design. Michael, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a round of applause as he takes us through the ins and the outs. And I think the first thing I want to know is, I think it's beautiful. You all agree? Stunning.
Thank you.
But I want to know, as the designer, which is your favorite part, Michael?
You know, it's always hard to ask a designer what is the favorite part. There are some favorite parts, but I would like to refer briefly to the front, because that was, I think, the most challenging part of the car.
Why?
You know, the very successful current Macan has a very strong product identity, a very strong Macan identity. So, and then you could say to work on the next generation is, in a way, business as usual. So you have to have this close connection between the predecessor and then the follower. But in that case as well, combined with this change of technology. So we wanted as well that we are visualizing that this is an EV. And therefore, you could say we, in a way, borrowed the headlamps of the Taycan, very flat, very low, very slim, with these 4 elements, and tried to close the front much more. So I would really say that was the toughest part.
Okay, so subtle, distinctive, something that if you saw it in your rearview mirror, you would still pay attention. So some of the other design elements then, talk us through some of the other parts.
For example, on the interior, I mean, no combustion engine, no ref counter. So the display, the instrument, curved and free floating, one of my highlights in the interior. Or if we have a brief look at this car over there as well, the colors. So we try to as well to introduce new colors that are light and complementing, let's say, this new technology.
And it does look stunning. From the rear here, this is also a very distinctive look and feel.
Yeah, I mean, for us in Porsche, the proportions are very important. So again, today's Macan already has great proportions. And looking at the car, especially from the back, I mean, this width to height ratio, so the stance of the car, something I think we even improved, and again underlines that this is the sports car in the segment.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about those design principles that we've touched on. I mean, obviously, a few of the key things that we're noting is the tension that we notice on each of these curves, right? But some of the trends when you talk about automobiles, they come and go. Some work really well and some kind of don't, right? But Porsche has managed to hold on to that essence, and it's always been very notable. But obviously, there is change involved. So how do you maintain that?
Yeah. I mean, as a designer and as a brand, as a company, you should never be so arrogant not to listen to customers, not to look closer at the competition, what's happening. But again, I think in the end, you have to keep, you're saying, the essence, the brand identity, and therefore we have a very clear design strategy. We were briefly talking about these keywords that always help us whenever we have to take a decision, if we go more to the left or to the right, besides these trends, to take, let's say, the right decision for the Porsche brand to keep this strong brand identity and product identity of the Macan.
So obviously then, when you had to create an all-electric Macan, right, you were projecting into the future. How do you do that whilst retaining that brand essence?
Yeah, I mean, we have, let's say, this kind of internal system. It's so secret that I can't talk about it.
But you're going to share something, right?
It's basically, we always have this idea, this picture in our mind that we throw a stone pretty far into the future, very much into the future, knowing that a lot of ideas we are creating in this process are not realistic at that point in time, today. That's what we call forecasting, and from there we go step by step back. We call it backcasting, and therefore then we believe that we found a pretty good way, again, as I said, to keep the thread between the history, the heritage, and find the right amount of innovation.
And with that, we now have this brand new all-electric Macan. It is stunning. It is absolutely amazing. I'm sure each and every single one of you wants to get even closer to it. Michael, thank you so much for giving us the ins and the outs of all the design facets. I'll let you pop off to the side there for a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an electrifying evening, and we officially present to you the new all-electric Macan. And now, to round us out officially for the evening, I would like to welcome back to the stage. So ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause, please, as we welcome back for the final photo call with the car, Mr. Oliver Blumer. We will have Michael as well, once he's done, and we'll also have Marc Fornes joining us to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause as they come for that final photo call for the evening.